Live.
Dress to the
Hi,
left.
everyone. Welcome to Steerline Live on YouTube. We are just 3 minutes away from the KMET 1490 AM version of our Stream the Line show, which will be coming on soon. Lou Desmond will be calling in shortly, I believe. Until then, just sit with us and wait for the show to start.
Yes. So that'll be on the KMET version, but we're live right now on YouTube. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen. No, I do not expect any of you to send me any of your winnings. People have been betting my picks of the week, and they're doing all right, So no, I don't expect a vig, man. So it's all good. It's all you. Go ahead, guys. Save it because once in a while we're gonna get snake bit. There might be a loss
Yeah.
coming in the future. So it happens, right, Christian?
Yeah.
I can drink
We're
coffee
about
on YouTube, right?
2 minutes out, guys.
2 minutes out.
Still no call from Lou.
Oh, well.
You know what? He
We'll
may
manage.
don't bring him up anymore. If he calls in, he calls in. All right. We love Lou, but we're gonna do a show about football today. By the way, every one of those college picks I picked last week won,
No.
and I don't do college.
I don't do college either. I'm in college.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Wow, man, I just had this wash of college girls' faces just I mean, it's like, whoa. Yeah, college. Good thing I was in college in the 70s because I remember it. Had it been in the 60s, I would have no clue. So listen, if we're live on YouTube, Christian, we can go ahead, right? I mean,
Well, we kind of have to wait for the KMET.
KMET person? All right.
We're about 1 minute out, guys. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Well, good. Sean is here, so it's all good.
Yes, sir.
We're in good hands. Children, don't try this at home.
Yeah, I didn't do college. I just went straight to work. So
yeah. Well, you did the right thing. Trust me.
Yeah.
If I hadn't gotten into films.
Well, I was doing the wrestling thing when I was young too. So
there you go.
I was in the WCW for a while as a cannon farter. So. 30 seconds, guys.
Oh, my heart.
Get it out now, Rocky. Get it out now.
Yeah, no. Hey, listen. I had some wrestler friends, Sean. Those are some tough sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I am not kidding you, man. These
Terry Funk was my trainer's best friend. All right, here we go, guys.
Let's go.
It's management, employees, or affiliates.
What's happening, football fans? It is time to steer the line. Touchdown! With your host, Loud Esmond and Jeremy James. For the best takes in NFL and football betting, fantasy football, and the latest news, get ready to steer the line.
Adam.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer Line. Do not let the baby face fool you. This is Christian Giordani with a shaved face. Right next to me is my dear father and partner in this business, Rocky Giordani. How you doing, Rocky?
Oh, good, man. Good. Man, crazy week. Can't wait to get to week 5. But in the meantime, go ahead.
Unfortunately, right now, Lou Desmond isn't with us, but we must carry on.
We must carry on.
The biggest thing that happened on last week was just I didn't see it yesterday, but that that Broncos Colts game. Talk about a bad football game.
Listen, there are not a lot of ways to describe what happened last night. But oddly enough, you don't hear Tom Brady say things like this, but he said before last night's game, there's just been a lot of really bad football across the league. And he's right. There's been a lot of really bad football. I mean, really bad football. But last night, dude, that was the icing on the cake. That was cherry on top. That was the first time that there were 7 field goals and no touchdowns in a game since for 4 or 5 years. Yeah, okay, there were some good points, but let's talk about what went wrong. Russell Wilson, you're getting paid $40 million a year, bro. You took that money. He's not in shape, Christian. I'm telling you, I watched him get up when he got knocked on the ground. I
Right.
watched him puffing and panting when he came back into the huddle. This guy is not. He took the money, but he's not really training. He's not really in shape, and he was playing terrible quarterback. When you take that kind of money, you're supposed to be the man. Now, look, you can either play crappy on the field and be great in the locker room. You have to be a leader. You can't be great in the locker room, crap in the field, great in the locker room. Pick one, but you can't be.
You can't be both. As former athletes ourselves, we know this exactly firsthand. You cannot be either, a terrible performance on the field. You need a strong performance in the locker room to encourage your teammates.
You got to keep people jacked up and ready to play for you, ready to go to battle with you. This guy's not getting it done, man. He's just completely failing the owners and the Denver fans. I don't know what John Elway was thinking. He thought, well, we brought in Peyton Manning. Russell Wilson is not and never will be Peyton Manning.
Exactly.
Right?
And speaking of the money, he got $245 million, which equals $49 million each year, which is insane to me. But he had statistically the worst game of his career. 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, 274 yards with 53 completion rate, 4 sacks, only 24 yards. Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, listen, there were some good things that happened last night. Didn't make for a lot of exciting football unless you understand and don't mind watching a good defensive football game, because they both defenses stepped up. Matt Ryan didn't have a great game either. But I got to tell you, the first thing they did, this is what happens when you don't have a balanced attack. The Colts and the Broncos both went into the same game. They took away the running game. Man, nobody was running against the Colts last night. Nobody.
Exactly.
Jonathan Taylor wasn't in there. So the Colts were running second string backs at the Broncos and still couldn't run. But the Broncos were not going to run on the Colts last night. They did play great against the run. So they're making Russell Wilson beat him with his arm, and he can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to Matt Ryan. Both teams took the run completely out of the game. There were no running games. All right.
Exactly.
It stunk. It's got too much airtime already. It was a terrible football game. Sorry I had to sit there and watch it, but it's like a train wreck. You can't take your eyes away.
And let's talk about the other biggest thing in football right now. Cooper Rush. Who would have thought in the beginning of the season Cooper Rush would be the second best quarterback in football right now? Right behind Jalen Hurts.
I'll be darned. Well, now listen, there's a good news for Cooper Rush, because Jalen Hurts they're gonna hit the brakes pretty soon. They haven't played a playoff team yet. And they're not going to play one this week, I don't believe either, right? So Jalen Hurts is going to keep going until they start playing playoff teams. Then we'll find out where Jalen Hurts is really at. Not this weekend for sure. But I think Cooper Rush has been amazing. And by the way, he's 4-0 if you go back to last year, because he came in and started one game as a starter. He started one game last year and won it. This guy's
undefeated. So for those of you who don't know, America's football team, the Dallas Cowboys, are going to SoFi to face our Los Angeles Rams.
Right.
And Dak Prescott's record against the Rams are probably some of the worst I've ever seen. He's 2-1 with only 61% percentage rate. In all those games, he's passed 3 games. He's only passed 600 yards total.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, the Rams play the Cowboys very tough. And by the way,
2 touchdowns allowed.
Now the Rams are 2-2 going into this game. It's time for them to step up. This is not going to be a cakewalk. Dallas is going to come in with a very rough defense. They're going to play smack-mouth football. It's not going to be an easy game, but this is a time for the Rams to step up and start separating themselves from the pack. They had a really rough start, getting blown out by the Bills in the first week. Things got a little bit of a rough start, but they're kind of finding their legs now. Christian, what's up with Matthew Stafford? Tell me the truth. What is your opinion?
Honestly, someone who's had elbow injuries myself, everyone can see he is injured. He is hurt. It's the elbow that's killing him, and he's playing through the pain. Yeah,
but he's not going to sit down. They're not going to pull him. As long as he says
unless it is a very serious injury, which I doubt.
Lose on.
What'd you say?
Lose on.
Christian,
Lose on.
Can you hear me? It's Lou.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you perfectly. We're talking about Matthew Stafford's elbow, and Christian, in your opinion, it's affecting his throwing. I think he's going to have to make some adjustments to be able to throw the ball as well. I think he's going to. I think he keeps playing, but his elbow is obviously bothering him.
Yeah, it's a big thing that's going to.
They're going to have to get adjusted to the idea of losing a lot.
Oh, there he goes. Okay.
There we go. No, but
Anybody,
he's gonna
can you mute?
no, but he's gonna have to adapt
Just kidding.
he's going to have to adapt to the format of a new throwing system. You know, a lot of quarterbacks in this past few seasons have changed their mechanics. Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, even they've started throwing a little bit more to the side, a little more, less stress on the elbow, and that's something Matthew Stafford can be looking forward. If you see a majority of his passes this season, he's doing that sidearm gunslinging pass.
Yeah, he's changing the angle because it doesn't hurt as much.
Exactly.
We've all done that with a baseball.
Let me point out somebody else who can't throw the football and is old, and that is Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Russell Wilson before you got on. We beat him to death. That was terrible. Terrible game.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of quarterbacks. You got a bunch of quarterbacks in the NFL right now that can't throw.
Right, but Russell Wilson had no skills.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Brady said it. There's a lot of bad football, and he meant there's a lot of bad quarterbacks. And it's true.
But back to the Matthew Stafford thing with his elbow. It's something he's gonna have to adapt to, something he's gonna have to play through. And he's a Texas boy. Texas boys play through pain. They play hard, smash nose football. Yeah, and I think he's gonna be just fine. He played a majority of his career injured. I don't see it changing much. He's just gonna have to adjust to a different injury this season.
Now,
Last year was the ankle.
What I think the Cowboys are gonna do this weekend, Christian, is they're going to try to take away the run and make Matthew beat him with his elbow.
I agree.
If they take away the run, he's going to have a long day. But I'm hoping Sean McVay. Look, if we can see it, the coaches can see it, and they're going to adjust and they're going to change some routes. Right? I expect a lot more West Coast style offense. By the way, Lou, SoFi Stadium told the Rams if they keep losing, they're going to have to move to Las Vegas.
Yep.
Oh.
Don't ever.
Great. We'd love to move to LA. No,
we have two losing teams.
Raiders are happy in Las Vegas. Hey, I have no idea how long I'm going to be on, and I'm not going to be on the second half hour. Just so everybody knows, I just landed at the airport literally 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
And my driver's taking me home. I want to go through several picks, and then
you guys
take over, dominate the conversation, and I'll kick in. The Lions at the Patriots. The over-under is 45.5. I'm taking the over. Just so you know, the Lions are leading the league in scoring at 35 points a game, and they are leading the league in allowing other people to score at 35 points a game. If I do the math, that's 70, and the line is 45.5. Lions and Patriots, I'm on the over. Rocky.
Got it. Listen, this is one of the first times I agree with you. I don't really get into overs and unders that much. If I do, I only take the over. I don't like taking the unders ever because you're betting on a slow game.
Rocky,
I think in this case you're correct. I like it.
Rocky, I took the under last night.
Yeah. Wow.
It was under 42.
You were the happiest guy on the planet. Wow, man.
I'm watching that game and I'm going, man, it could have been under 20.
So I'm wondering why Russell Wilson kept throwing at Stephon Diggs. He's the brightest star on that defense, and he kept throwing right at him. Kept challenging
Stephon Gilmore.
I'm sorry, and he got whipped.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore beat Russell Wilson all by himself last night.
Yeah, that was
Let's go to the next game I'm picking. And you'll love this. It's the Cowboys at the Rams.
Got it, boy.
The line on that game is over under 43. Rocky, where am I going? Over or under?
You're going over.
I agree. You're going over.
He's going under.
I'm going under.
He's going under.
Let me point this out. The Cowboys score on average they score on average 17.8 points per game. They give up 15 points per game. The Rams give up on average 23 and score 17.5. Two of the lowest scoring marquee teams in the NFL. That game, especially with Stafford's elbow issues and the kid at quarterback, Cooper Rush, they're not going to ask him to do too much. Both teams are going to try to run the ball. That's going to slow the game down, burn clock. I'm going Rams 21, Cowboys 17 for a total of 38. 5 points under the 43. Rocky.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Again, I'm not. I would take the spread in that game, but if I were forced to bet the over under, I don't know at SoFi Stadium, but it makes sense. They're going to take away the run, so there may be a high passing game. He may throw the ball 3 times, but they're challenging his elbow. See, who's got a point? They're going to challenge his elbow.
Allen, who has Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee, is my driver here is nodding his head. How many times did they target Higbee? Like 12, 14? Yeah.
Last week,
And Cooper a little more. 17, 18. I don't think any of them had a pass longer than 6 or 7 yards.
I believe Cooper Kush had a reception about 22 yards over the front.
All right, he had one maybe, but they were all little dink and dunk passes. No chunk plays. There's going to be no fast scoring in this game. It's going to be a long, slow slog. There will be touchdowns, unlike last night's game. The Bengals are going at the Ravens. Bengals are catching 3.5. Rocky.
Yeah, the Ravens got to be favored. Ravens are favored, right?
Yes, 3.5, minus 3.5.
How many? 3.5?
Yes.
Oh, boy, that's going to be a heck of a game. Look, if Joe Burrow and Jay Chisholm are going to step up, they're going to have to do it this week. If they lose this week, I'm afraid it's going to be a bleak rest of the season. So I don't know. I'm gonna be pulling for the Bengals to win that game because I like Joe Burrow, but I think it's a very tough assignment because Jamar, your boy,
Lamar Chase, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is going to be throwing the ball crazy.
This is gonna be a very important game for the.
Let me point something out.
Both teams. Who are you taking?
Let me point something out. The Ravens have one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. That's one of the best passing offenses in the NFL. The Bengals are averaging 23 points a game after getting off to a very slow start. Their defense is playing surprisingly well, allowing 17.5 points a game. The Ravens' defense is allowing 29 points a game and scoring 29.8.
Well, yeah, but look who they faced earlier in the season. They faced the two highest rating offense in the NFL, the Dolphins and the Bills. How do you not allow 29 points in those games?
Yeah, the Dolphins should not have been able to come back in that game. That's how bad the Ravens' secondary is that when the Dolphins decided they needed to just start throwing deep, they beat them for 3 long touchdowns. I'm going to not necessarily take the Bengals to win, but if you're going to give me a field goal and a hook, I'm taking the Bengals plus the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I don't think they win this game, but this game is going to be very important. Whoever wins the AFC North, this is going to be. I think this is the deciding game, in my opinion. Early in the season.
They're not in the. Go ahead.
John Harbaugh put the game in Lamar's hands to pass it to win the game, and he threw an interception.
Right.
I don't trust him. Bears at Vikings. It's a total of under 44. I'm going under on this game, too. The Bears' offense is averaging 16.5 points a game. The Vikings' offense is averaging 21.5. Their defense gives up 20 on average. The Bears' defense gives up 19, but that includes a couple really strange games, like the game against the 49ers where they scored like 3 against Chicago. So I don't think their defense is actually as good as advertised. But I'm going under here. I'm going Vikings 24, Bears 17. That would give you a total of 30.
Oh, I think we lost Lou.
Yeah,
there he is.
Okay, so Lou, what is your okay? So you're going over. You're going under in the Vikings Bears game.
Yeah,
Okay.
under 44.
Okay, since we're touching on that game right now, the Vikings-Bears game is my pick of the week. I'm letting one pick out a week, not a bunch of play this, play that. One pick a week that I think is your best bet to bet. If you bet one game a week, this is it. The Vikings minus the points. Justin Fields is absolutely the worst quarterback in the NFL, and like Lou said, Minnesota's at home. Chicago's going to Minnesota. Minnesota's going to play well, sleep in their own bed, eat their own food. They're going to come out and play good football. Their defense is going to beat up on Justin Fields, and I don't believe they are going to score many at all. I don't know if they'll be over or under the points, but I'm confident that the Vikings will cover the spread. This is my pick of the week. The Vikings minus, I believe it's 5.
7.5. Minus 7.5.
It's 7.5.
It's 5 on mine.
It's 7.5.
Yes. 7.5. I got it at 5. So yeah, 7.5, whatever it is. You gotta give up the points. Take the Vikings, give up the points. Go ahead. So you have any more?
Okay, the Falcons go to the Buccaneers. That line is pretty high, Christian. I believe it's 8.5 or 9 right now.
The line is 10.5 right now.
Yeah, it'll probably go to 14.
Okay. I like this line at 9.5. I would buy a point and go down to like minus 135, minus 140 on this, which you can do. Any casino's going to sell you a point. I believe there are actually places that have this still at 9.5 or 10, but let's say it's 10.5. I'm buying a point. I'm taking it down to 9.5. I know Tampa Bay hasn't looked great on offense all year, but last week they scored 31 points. Why?
Yeah.
They had Evans and Godwin both on the field at the same time. The offensive line has gotten a little healthier. Fournette was playing. I like Tampa Bay to score like 31 points in this game and the Falcons to score like 10.
Now, Tampa Bay's tight end was injured last week, right? He's out.
Correct.
Yes.
Brake.
And
Cameron Brake. Now,
Cole Beasley just straight out retired.
What?
Cole Beasley just straight out retired.
Did he really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, good for him. It was time.
Well, yeah, because Evans and Godwin got the majority of the passes, so
right.
he sort of became unnecessary.
Yeah, this week, I think their tight end, because of the matchup. Now, remember, it looks good on paper, but I've told you a million times, Christian, it doesn't matter who beat who, which,
every given Sunday.
I think in this matchup, I think you're going to see the Buccaneers tight end is going to have the backup tight end is going to have a pretty big game. He's going to have to.
I completely agree.
I think that's where they're going to go. I think Brady's going to tight end them to death to open up.
Bottom line on this one for me. The Buccaneers are getting healthy. They need to start winning, and their defense is lights out. The Falcons won't be able to score much, and Tampa Bay will take advantage of that and get some cheap points. Tampa Bay 31, Falcons 10. Finally, the last pick of the week, the Raiders play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. The Chiefs will win by 60 is my prediction.
Yeah, they're minus 7 right now.
He said 60.
By 60, yeah, that's going to be a
that
game.
That line is too low.
It is tough to win an Arrowhead, but I don't think they're going to win by that much. Loud. You're exaggerating a little bit, but I don't think Kansas City's defense holds up that well against secondary defense holds up against that well against Devontae Adams.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Christian, it's 7 points. Do the Chiefs win by 7.5 or more? Yes or no?
By 7.5, no. By 7, yes.
Okay, so you're going to buy a half point, take it to 6.5, and bet on the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Now, a lot of the guys that are DMing me, they're betting with bookies, so they can't buy points. They're not doing that. So, but
Okay.
What Lou is saying is he likes the spread, but he likes it better if you could buy a half point. But you're still taking, and I agree. I think the Buccaneers, if there's a double-digit win this week, this will be one of them. I think they're going to go lay the wood to them. I think the Vikings the Bucks, and one other team, which I'll give you in a minute. Vikings are my pick of the week, the only one. But I think this game.
I think the Raiders hang with the Chiefs for about 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Batting
practice. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, I'd like to see the Raiders play well. And by the way, the Raiders travel well to Kansas City. They don't win there, but they travel well. They play well there. We'll see what happens.
Yes,
listen, good luck, Lou, with those picks. And are you getting on?
Let me just recap them real quick.
Go for it.
Lions and Patriots over 45.5. Rams under 43. Bengals and Ravens. Bengals plus the 3.5. Vikings and Bears under 44. Falcons and spread at 9.5. And Chiefs will beat the Raiders by more than 7 to cover.
There you go. Those are Loud Esmond's picks of the week, guys. Don't forget to send him a smiley face if you win money. No VIGs. No VIGs are necessary. We do not accept tips.
Now,
All right, have a good flight, buddy.
If we're going to be talking about mismatches, go ahead.
He's gone.
He's gone. If
we're going to be talking about mismatches, my pick of the week is Jaguar versus Houston. Houston is one of the biggest bottom dwellers in the NFL. We all know this. And Jacksonville is slowly creeping up to be one. Yeah, it's slowly creeping up to be one of the best teams in the NFL.
Take last week out. It was raining in Philadelphia, and the ball was bouncing all over the place. Trevor Lawrence, with his little soft, girly hands, couldn't find the handle.
Even with that,
4 fumbles, man. 4 turnovers. He dropped the ball 4 times.
Even with that,
just running and it slid out of his hand. Now that's not going to happen in a dry stadium.
Yes, even with that, they're ranked 6th in defense and 5th in overall offense. As Loud likes to call him, Jennifer Lawrence is ranked 8th in QBR amongst quarterbacks in the league. And Texas defense is one of the worst in the league. It's a minus. Jacksonville's a -7 favorite. I think they win by at least 10 points. So this is going to be a very interesting game, and I think that's the biggest mismatch of the week, in my opinion.
All right, Lou's pick of the week was the over in the Detroit-New England game. And then he had a bunch of ancillary picks that he liked. Agreed?
Yes,
agreed. My pick of the week, as we're getting ready to sign off on KMET,
yes, sir,
are the Vikings minus the spread in Minnesota against the Bears. I really like them this week. There are other, I also like the Bucks. The 49ers. 49ers are their third team that's probably going to win by double digits tomorrow. But my pick of the week is Minnesota. Yours, Christian, is Jacksonville.
Jacksonville and Houston, yes.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Good luck. And from your lips to God's ears, let's hope those teams come in,
Let's hope we're all right. We'll make more money.
I call your brother and he bets them for me in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm getting my bets down. No more bookies for me, man.
I love it.
What else? 1 minute. The Rams play on Monday.
Yes.
I don't know who plays tomorrow, the evening game, but there's a 6:00 game in London tomorrow, 6:00 a.m.
The London game is the Giants and the Packers.
Talk about that. An international game. This is great. The NFL is going so international, man. It's really cool.
We will talk more about that international game on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, on KMET 1490 AM for listening. If you want to continue the show with us, you can hop over to YouTube right now. That's at Steer the Line on YouTube, STEER, the line, LINE. Thank you guys for listening over here, and come over on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sean. Later, buddy.
Sean. And that's us. So I think
we're here.
We are here on YouTube, yes. And I think the biggest, we want to talk about the international game in London. I think it's great that the NFL is expanding outwards into different countries. We have the Mexico City game coming up soon, later in the year. The Niners and the Cardinals, which would be a division game, which I think would be one of the best games this coming season. But this week coming up, it is Green Bay and the Giants in London. What do you think about it?
I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a great game for the Londoners to watch.
Yes, Green Bay's a 7.5 favorite.
Now the players got to be really jazzed, man. You want to go to Europe and play? Oh hell yes, man!
Yeah, it's got to be
You spend the
insanely
whole week
great.
over there, right? They're not going to come back right after the game. They're going to go hang out and go see Big Ben and all that stuff, and
Yeah, of course.
have some tea and crumpets. So the players are digging it, man. They're already over there. They got there yesterday, so they're already there. They're acclimating. They're getting used to the time difference and eating a lot of cool new food. I'm sure a lot of fish and chips, tea and crumpets. So it's great for the players. It's great for the sport. Super happy to see it. I think Green Bay is probably going to win that game.
Yeah, 7.5-point favorite though. What do you think about that?
Well, Aaron Rodgers got one of his receivers back, Lazard.
Yeah, Lazard.
And he's pretty much been his linchpin in that offense.
Now, the biggest question is it too late for Devontae Adams to request a trade back to Green Bay?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And by the way, Saquon Barkley is running crazy. And that is going to be, in my opinion, the Giants' game plan.
It is. And the Giants have been they have been no pushover this season at all.
Dude, no, are you kidding me?
No,
they're 3-1, right?
2-2, I believe.
No, they're 3-1.
Well,
they may be 2-2. I don't know.
Yeah, but either way, they're 3-1. You're right.
Yeah,
they're as of right now, they're one of the better teams in football.
But their quarterback is hurt, right?
No.
Is he back?
Yeah, Daniel Jones should be playing.
Okay, good. Well, then I like him. I like him to put up a good game. I don't know about 7.5. They may win by 7, but I expect it to be. The games over in London are never really high scoring. We never really go there and put on this big show. They need to stop. They need to start sending the Chiefs and the Rams. You know what I mean? They need to start sending games that the Patriots and the Bucks. They're gonna be teams that want to score like crazy on the other team.
And that what game should have been there? The Dolphins and the Bills. The biggest thing I do want to talk about, I want to go into a rant about Cooper Rush. I think Cooper Rush is the real deal in Dallas. And a lot of people are saying to start him over Dak coming up this following week. Now, as I said before, Dak has one of the worst records against the Rams. He's 1-2 with very poor passing stats, high interception rate, low touchdown rate, and a high sack rate as well. But aside from that, Dak Prescott is still injured. He's still questionable. Now, do you keep Cooper Rush in until Dak comes back, or do you keep him in for the rest of the season until he loses a game?
Well, here's the deal. It's Dak Prescott was injured. It's his team. Okay?
Yes.
But remember, Tony Romo went down. Dak Prescott came in. Tony Romo never got back on the field.
Exactly.
But before that, Drew Bledsoe went down. I'm talking about Dallas quarterbacks.
Yes.
Drew Bledsoe went down. Tony Romo came in. Drew Bledsoe never got his job back. Then it happened to Tony Romo. Now it could be happening to Dak Prescott. I am telling you, Jerry Jones, if he gets on a winner, he's going to stick with him. Ride him like a.
Now, currently, Dak Prescott's making $160 million for the next 4 years. He just signed this contract last offseason. Now, it's going to be hard to explain that to the front office, starting Cooper Rush. But this is Cooper Rush projected stats for the remainder of the season compared to Dak Prescott's best stats in his best single season, what is his rookie season back in 2016, where he was 13-3 with 23 touchdowns, 3,667 yards, with a completion rate of 67.7. And we'll go from that. Cooper Rush is on pace to throw 3,930 yards, 21 TDs, with 336 completed passes with 11.8 passes per yard on a projected win title to basically be undefeated just on the pace he's going.
Yeah.
Look,
I don't know what they do. It's Dak Prescott's team. I don't know how you sit him at that price. He'd be the highest paid backup in the history of the league.
Now, do you trade Cooper Rush for some pieces halfway through the season?
You asking me?
Yes.
Hell no.
Now, but if you're going to stick with Dak, there's no point in having Cooper Rush in the back. You're wasting someone's talent away for nothing where you can get a return.
Start talking about who to trade. How many games did Dak miss this season already due to injury?
3 games.
How many games did he miss last season due to injury?
0.
What?
He missed 0. The year before, he missed
missed
11. He missed 11.
11, yeah. So yeah, here's a guy who can't even stay upright. He can't stay on the field. He's a little too fragile. By the way, I saw that thumb injury. He didn't hit a helmet. He hit another guy's hand.
And yeah,
I'm done with Dak Prescott. But you know what? I'm not a Cowboy fan, so I don't care. They could burn him at the stake for all I
completely
care.
agree.
But
But
don't you ever call them America's team in front of me again, because they're not. I never voted them for America's team.
that's their nickname. But Cooper Rush,
I didn't
he's the same age as Dak Prescott, 29. He sat behind him almost his entire career.
Yeah.
Someone who knows the Dallas offense pretty well, who's been there the entire his entire professional career since 24 years old in 2017. It's going to be tough for
He's
Dak Prescott to get
better
his
than
job.
Dak right now.
It's hard for Dak to get his job right now.
Yeah, well, if Dak comes back and craps the bed, we can run YouTube, right? We can say shits the bed. If he comes back and shits the bed, he's done, man. And the coaches are going to catch hell for playing him. You got to think. Look, Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy's going to decide, but he's going to have to talk to Jerry Jones about it because he's a hands-on owner. And if they disagree and McCarthy goes the other way, we may have a new coach before the season's over. And
I agree as well, but I really think Cooper Rush should stay until at least he loses a game. Yeah.
Until he loses a game.
Yeah. Who do you know? You might have the next guy who goes undefeated for the rest of the season. Cowboys might go 16-1, 15-1, you know?
But then we now live in the era where when Clayton Kershaw is pitching a perfect game in the 7th inning, they pull him out for no reason.
Oh, God. Don't give me on baseball
this is
right now, man.
Moneyball sports now. They all go by numbers. They crunch numbers. There's no heart and soul left in sports anymore. It's all about numbers. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't think Dak Prescott's going to start this week. He'll probably want an easier start than against the Rams defense, because he's gotten beat up by them a lot.
Yeah, it looks like right now Cooper Rush is going to start this coming week.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he gets his first loss against the Rams.
And if he has a good showing against the Rams, they're going to have a really hard time pulling him out.
If he beats the Rams, that's going to be a tough thing to say.
If he beat the Rams, I'll cry, and they won't pull him out. Dak Prescott will not start.
Now, let me go through the games coming up this week and the lines, and I want to see if you like them or not. Green Bay, New York Giants, -7.5 Green Bay.
Yeah, I like Green Bay. I don't think I like them by 7.5.
Okay. Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Buffalo by -14.
Boy, yeah. You know what? I don't give up 2 touchdowns any team. I like Buffalo to win that game, probably by 2 touchdowns, but I'm not going to lay 14 points.
No,
you know what I
mean? That's tough. 2 touchdowns.
Come on, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Chargers, Cleveland. Chargers by 2.5 in Cleveland.
I love the Chargers in that game. They're at home, right?
No, they're in Cleveland.
They're in Cleveland. That's right. I still like the Chargers.
I do too.
Healthy again. He's feeling better. Somebody gonna have to expose the Browns for who they really are.
I know Justin Herbert was not going to go to that team doctor for the Chargers. That Chargers doctor almost killed the previous quarterback.
Is that right?
Yeah. He filed a lawsuit against them for something. They messed him up, and now he can barely walk. He almost died.
Next game.
Chicago, Minnesota. Minnesota by 7.5.
Love Minnesota in that game by 10 or more.
Detroit, New England -3. Detroit is Detroit versus New England. England's -3.
Boy, I got to tell you, I like Detroit.
I do as well. 3-point favorite, 3-point underdog.
If Detroit wins, it will be under.
Yes. Seattle, New Orleans -5.
I like Seattle.
I do too, and I want to get into that while we're still here and talking about Seattle.
That's right. You're a Seattle guy.
I am the Seattle's beat reporter. Geno Smith, man. They wrote me out, but I write back. I love Geno.
Bro, this guy, a third chance.
Yeah, they gave him something, and he's been playing not great, but pretty good football, better than a lot of people expected. I still would have liked to see Drew Lock get some games in, give the young guy a chance. But Geno Smith at 32 is kind of having a little bit of a revival in his career. Never a Pro Bowler, never an All-Pro guy, never even a All-Pro second or third team kind of guy. Yeah, he's just been a backup quarterback that's been bouncing around the league, who feels like he kind of found a home in Seattle now, this season at least. He leads the league right now in completion percentage.
Really?
That's an insane thing for me to say. Geno Smith leads the league in completion percentage. 102 attempts, 102 completions, and 132 attempts.
No, he does have some pretty good receivers to throw.
Yeah, he has DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, which I think is one of the better duos in the
Yeah,
NFL.
no doubt.
But
No.
6 touchdowns, 4.5% touchdown rate. He has a 64% red zone touchdown rate, which is extremely impressive to me. That's top 3 in the league, only behind Justin Herbert and Josh Allen.
Yeah. Now, as good as Jacoby Brissett in Cleveland has been playing this year, between that matchup, I like Geno Smith, and I'm not a big Geno Smith fan. You know that he's a backup quarterback.
It's Geno versus Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket.
Oh, Andy Dalton, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So what happened to Jacoby Brissett?
Jacoby Brissett, that's the Browns. This is the Saints. They're playing the Saints.
The Browns. I'm sorry.
That was the Chargers.
San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego.
Well, not San Diego. They're Los Angeles Chargers.
Same thing.
Sorry, man, I got confused.
No, but the Saints are. I believe they're still starting Andy Dalton since J-Bo's out. J-Bo's out.
I think Andy Dalton's going to give him a better chance to win than Jameis.
Or
Marcus Mariota or whoever else is. Mariota's in Atlanta now, right?
Yeah. Yes. But he's been having one heck of a season. Now, if Geno Smith starts losing, do you put in Drew Lock or do you leave him in for the rest of the season? Just say, heck with it, we're tanking.
Geno Smith is not the kind of guy that you can put all your eggs in one basket. Mm-hmm. If he starts a rough patch, it's over. They probably planned on playing a little bit of a rotational system at the quarterback there. They're going to let Geno play till he hits a speed bump. He's not going to go the whole season. I don't believe he will go the whole season. He may, and more power to him if he does.
I agree.
But I think eventually Drew Lock takes the field, and I think that if they're both on the team next year, I think Drew Lock's the starter.
Now Broncos fans are raging to get Drew Lock back.
Huh?
Broncos fans are raging to get Drew Lock back ever since that game. Against the Colts.
We want our picks and our quarterback back.
Yeah, and Tyler Lockett, which Noah Fant. I'm sorry, Noah Fant, who's one of the better tight ends in football. But it's just, I like Seattle as the 5-point underdog. I don't know if I like him by that many points, but I do like him winning that game. Miami, New Jersey.
You like who? You like Seattle or you like?
I like Seattle, but not by 5-point underdog.
Oh, okay. No, that favorite.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Miami versus the Jets. Miami's favored by 3.5 without Tua Tagovailoa. There's no chance Tua plays. We're not going to go into it much more than we did last week.
Yeah, we're not good. Let's don't go into it.
How do you like that spread, though, with Teddy Bridgewater? Teddy two gloves at the start.
Okay, now listen. I am a Bridgewater fan. I like Teddy Bridgewater. I thought he got a bad deal in New Orleans. When Drew Brees went down, he came off the bench and won 6 games straight. Drew Brees came back. Of course, it's Drew Brees. They sat him down.
Yeah.
But then they traded him. On the next year, he went and he didn't even get paid to be a backup quarterback. You know what I mean? So
he got traded to Denver, I believe, yes.
I'm hoping and expecting for my boy Teddy Bridgewater to step up and play this week and win that game. What's the spread?
I agree, especially 3.5 versus the Jets in New Jersey or in New York.
Yeah, and he's still got the same receivers. He got 2 receivers that run 4.2 40s.
Yeah, he still has Tyreek, and he still has.
And Teddy Bridgewater has an arm. He got a cannon. He can throw the ball.
He got a cannon, yeah.
He can get down the field. So I like Miami -3.
Minus 3.5
in a divisional game. I like that a lot. I like Miami a lot.
I do as well. Atlanta, Tampa Bay -10.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is going to win that game by more than 10. But I don't lay. If I was the kind of guy that would give up 10 points in the game, and I'm not, I would bet that because I believe that the Buccaneers are going to. It's batting practice, man. We had a rough patch. We're
they got Mike Evans back. I believe Godwin's back.
They're going to go out and they're going to beat up the Falcons and just practice on them.
I think Lombardi Fournette's going to have a crazy game.
Lombardi Leo, baby.
Lombardi Leo.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Washington. Tennessee favored by 2 in Washington.
Well, of course, I like Tennessee. They're silly.
All right. Texas. Obviously, we went over this. Texans, Jacksonville -7 in Jacksonville. Yeah, I think Jacksonville's going to stomp all over them. It's going to be this is my blowout.
Okay.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have.
It's your pick of the week.
I think he's going to have a career game this week.
Okay, my pick of the week, by the way, was Minnesota. I gave it up in the first half hour on KMET 1490 AM radio.
Our division rivals and the biggest hatred I have toward the team, the San Francisco 49ers, go to Carolina to fight the Panthers. They're favored 6.5 points in Carolina.
Yeah, they're going to blow Carolina out. Now, this is the kind of thing we say something like that, and I think, yeah, I hate them too. But if they all died in a plane crash, I'd really have mixed emotions.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, no! They're just going to have another team. I'd feel really bad. So I don't hate them that much, but I don't hate them enough to expect them to go lose in Carolina either. So
I agree.
I expect them to, again. This is another win that could be double digits.
In my DNA as a Southern Californian, as someone close to LA, as a Dodger, as a Ram, as a Laker Clipper fan,
you hate everything except for the Crabs.
Yeah. Dallas Rams favored by -5.5 in SoFi.
I like the Rams.
I do as well. I think they're going to stomp over that. I wouldn't say stomp. The biggest thing is the offensive line for the Rams is very injured riddle right now. They only have 2 starters coming back.
They have 2 starters coming back?
Yeah.
2 starters out of 5. So
yeah, their center's still out.
The whole game last week with the replacement players on the front line.
Yeah, their center's still going to be out. And I think who's the pass rusher for the Cowboys? I cannot remember his name right now. It's blanking me.
Oh, they have 2, Micah Parsons and
yes,
and Jadeveon Clowney.
I think Micah Parsons is going to have a field day.
If these 2 guys are both out there, and they are, that's going to make it very tough on Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
somebody's going to have to account for both those guys.
Now, the biggest thing I think the Rams have to do is stuff the run and make Cooper Rush beat you with their arm, because as much as I hate to admit it, and you like to say, Ezekiel is still an elite running back.
They're going to go just the other way.
You think they're going to?
I think they're going to try to take the passing away again, dare them to run.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott actually has very poor stats against the Rams defense, so I could see where that goes.
Yeah, I think they're going to go the other way. They're going to try to. I think they're going to play a very conservative, pass rush.
I do, and
they're
I think
rush 4 guys. Maybe on 3rd and long, they may send a 5th guy, but I think they're going to go with 2 high safeties, and they're going to put 5 men in the box. They're just going to defend the run and the short pass. They're going to make them. They're going to make them throw it.
Yeah, and if the Rams have a good game this thing and they blow out like I think they will, I think Bobby Wagner is going to have a game. I think he's going to ball out.
It's time for Bobby Wags to step up, man.
Jalen Hurts, the best team in football right now. The Eagles go to Arizona to play the Cardinals, and they're 5.5 favorites.
Okay. Now, except for Sunday, this Sunday, I am not a Jalen Hurts believer. I believe the Eagles have one of the top 5 defenses in the league, and that defense is going to get all around short general. What's his name? Kirby Puckett. No, that's a baseball player. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, he'll be running around for his life. He's going to be running for his life on Sunday, man. And I do expect the Eagles to beat them by a bunch. What's the point? What's the spread?
-5 favored to the Eagles.
The last time, the Eagles are going to have an easy game. But I think the way the matchup against the Cardinals, I think this will be a pretty easy game for the Philadelphia Eagles to win. And this is great because it helps the Rams. So go Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm a Philadelphia fan this week.
By the
way. Everyone in the NFC West is 2-2.
But I think after this they're going to have to start playing some playoff teams, and I think Jalen Hurts won't be quite the MVP that I think after they're going to start talking about Tom Brady again.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins is going to have a great day.
I think he's going to have a field day. I still think Kirk Cousins is gone after the season, but that's just my opinion. Cincinnati goes to Baltimore, where Baltimore is a 3.5 favorite.
Well, Baltimore has to win that game, but I like Cincinnati at 3.5. I'm going to take Joe Burrow, baby. In Ravens. Listen, they've got to win, or they've got to give it up.
This is going to set the tempo of who's going to win the division. I don't think this decides who wins, but it's going to set the tempo of who's going to have to pick up the pace and who's going to stay consistent.
Everybody has to pick up the pace. These teams that are at 500 right now, when they lose this week, they're going to be below 500 after week 5.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I hate to bet against my guy Joe. You know I love Joe. He's
Yeah.
my dude. I love Jamar Chase. You know,
So you like the Ravens?
I think Lamar is he's been hearing all the criticism. It's a contract year. This is a game he absolutely needs to win, and I think Lamar goes for it. You know, I think he's going to go off, and I'm pretty sure he heard Loud Esmond say he can't throw, so he's going to pass a lot down this game.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a little tougher time against this Bengal defense. I think they match up a lot better than people are going to expect. I think this Bengal defense is going to match up really well against Lamar Jackson. We'll see. But that's why they play the game on Sunday, baby, because
Every given Sunday,
who the heck knows?
The Las Vegas Raiders go to Arrowhead Stadium, where the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, the magician, and his fellow Kansas City Chiefs are -7 favorites.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs.
I do too.
Raiders
It's going to be tough.
done.
It's going to be tough for them to win that game. I really like to see how Kansas City's secondary is going to adapt to Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams in his career has just scorched the Chiefs. And the very few times he's played them, he scorches them every time. And that's all the matchups this week. Now, any bigger news you want to talk about this week before we
Who plays Monday night?
Monday night game is
that's the Raiders and the Chiefs.
That's the Raiders and the Chiefs, yeah.
Right. That's a tough one. Who plays the Sunday night game? San Francisco?
Everyone.
The Sunday night game at 5:00 is a night game.
At 5:00, it is Arizona.
Okay, cool. So we'll get to watch
Arizona, LA, and San Francisco all have the night games.
We will get to San Francisco. Yeah, we will watch that game. That'll be Philadelphia Eagles and the Arizona Cardinals.
And Baltimore and Cincinnati have the latest game at 8:20 p.m. Eastern. That's
that's
night
fine. That's the night game. That's the Sunday night football game. The other one's at 3:00 or 1:00.
4
That's what I'm talking about. Who is that? Who is it?
The Bengals and the Ravens.
The Ravens. Great. So we'll get that. Everybody will get it.
Yeah, everyone's going to get it.
We're going to get the Bengals-Ravens game. We're probably going to get a couple of good games, and we'll get that Raiders Kansas City game on Monday night. Good. I'm looking forward to it, man. Anything to get that nasty taste out of my mouth from last night.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was like eating a plate of dog poop, man.
I was caught in the middle of a sandstorm, and I would rather stay there than watch the rest of that game.
I got to tell you, watching the defense was pretty interesting. Defensive guy, right? I'm a defensive guy, right? So I kind of enjoyed watching the defenses, but when you're forced to watch the offense, and you got Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson, two of the highest paid quarterbacks in the history of the league.
Yeah.
And you're expecting them to do something, and they don't. Matt Ryan was really frustrated, man. He was.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson was embarrassed, and that's the difference. Matt Ryan expected to do better. Russell Wilson just embarrassed, and that's his game to be like.
He's done.
He has resigned himself to their first-year coach is not going to be any good. He's not going to put him in a position to win, and they should have kicked that field goal at the end. But they went for the win. They didn't want the tie. So
he's done. He adapted to that superstar lifestyle to where he's not hungry anymore. He got his payday. You got a Super Bowl ring, and he's content with that.
Been there. When you're on the street trying to hustle pool or dice, and you've got money in your pocket, it's hard to win. When you're hungry, you go out there and you make money. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you're hungry, you're out there and you play football. It's the same with everything. It's hard to do well when you're fat, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them, and they lost their running back earlier this week too, so it's going to be really hard for them to win, and I don't see them winning. It's going to be between the Chargers and the Chiefs to win that division, in my opinion.
Now the Chiefs they come to SoFi, and they play the Chargers next. The Chargers lost
yes,
close game in Arrowhead, and remember Herbert got hurt. Justin Herbert got hurt. I expect them to beat Kansas City here in Los Angeles. That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a great game.
I think that's going to separate it. I think that's when we're going to see the Los Angeles Chargers begin to take control of that division. It's a tough division, but it's a lot easier now that the Raiders and the Broncos are, just kind of crapping themselves.
Yeah, they're just kind of mediocre teams that
Not
aren't
showing
going to
up.
do much this season.
So there's no secret. Yeah, that division, which was touted as one of the greatest divisions.
And now it's one of the biggest,
it's
biggest
crappy,
disappointments.
but there's two good teams that are going to be fighting for first
I'm
place.
still very, very disappointed in the Raiders. I thought they were going to do a lot better this season, and they're just
Everybody did, except for me.
Yeah.
I told you from the beginning, Raiders.
And everyone's talking about how the NFC West, remember early in the season that everyone was talking about in the NFC West how it's just not going to be competitive. The Rams are going to steamroll to them. Going into week 5, everyone's 2-2.
That would have been true if Trey Lance hadn't gone down.
Yeah.
Rams would have steamrolled that division. No doubt about it.
Yeah, they would be 3-1. And
Jimmy G's back. Jimmy G's back. Now the 49ers have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm right. My prediction with I'm sorry, not the Niners. The Seahawks is slowly coming true just with the wrong quarterback. I said Drew Lock is going to lead that offense to a 8, maybe 9-win season. And
we hope he has a run of bad luck because he's in our division. We don't need them winning too many games. I know you're the beat reporter for the Seattle Seahawks for KMHE and Steer the Lion, and I wish you the best, but I'm pulling against the Seahawks. I'm a Rams fan.
I think Chargers have a high potential that they have been holding Eckler back a bit. Herbert has a cracked rib, and cartilage, and Keenan Allen's still out. 100 people. It's gonna be great for the Chargers this season. I think we're gonna wrap it up a little bit early today, a few minutes out.
Why?
All right.
I don't want to.
All right, Rams Nation, baby. We got 100
Rams
people.
Nation, who put that up there?
100 people. Whoever that is.
Rams Nation, baby, you go. So there they are.
The chosen road. What do you think of this
Josh
trade? I'm trading Josh Jacobs and Zach Ertz for Travis Kelce. I have Eckler, Chubb, Penny, Pierce, and I have Everest.
Now, these must be fantasy football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Zach Ertz is having a tough time, and he's going to come on. Kelce, I think, is probably the best tight end in football. Austin Eckler, he's going to have a field day. I think Austin Eckler's going to have a great week this week. Obviously, Kelce the best pick, right? But again, and against tough matchup, yes, against any matchup, you gotta like Kelce, man. He's even without the cheetah now. He's
still the best tight end in football.
He's the man.
George Kittle's the second.
When Kelce shut down in Indianapolis, they lost.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Remember the Colts beat him. He dropped a bunch of balls. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, it's hard to win without Kelce in that offense. Even with Vasquez and Juju Smith, it's going to be tough for that Chiefs offense to win. Travis Kelce is the epitome of that Chiefs offense, along with Patrick Mahomes right beside him.
Well, listen, there's Patrick Mahomes. That's the deal. Do you see that little flip pass? He's still playing sandlot football. I know. He's still playing sandlot football. Until somebody takes away Patrick Mahomes' poise, his confidence that he can just do anything when he wants, run the ball, throw the ball, until somebody slaps him in the mouth, until someone knocks him down. Yeah, they need to get their running game going. But again, Patrick Mahomes is a big part of that running game. As a matter of fact, the threat of him running is what gives the rest of the offense, so much latitude. They get guys open. They don't run an option there, but they could. I mean, he's that good. But they need to knock him down, and I don't think that's going to happen this week. The Raiders may send someone after him. We'll see. Josh McDaniels is a pretty good coach. Hasn't had much luck this year, but he may mirror Matt Mahomes with somebody. We'll play it. We'll see if they go man on Mahomes and soft zone.
It's so hard to guard that guy. All right, we're closing in on a minute. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
No, man, just go Rams. Whoever that Kansas City fan is, thank you for chiming in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping in. If the Kansas City, if they weren't in the same division as our Los Angeles Chargers, I would be a fan.
Yeah, me as well. But go Rams, go Raiders, go football. Before I go anywhere else, it's a great time to be a sports fan, man. The NFL season's midway through. October baseball started today. The NBA preseason.
Let's talk about Judge really quick. Judge hit 62 home runs, and guess what? Guess what the biggest sports story is? Who's going to sign OBJ? Forget about the 62 home runs.
2 home
right?
runs. Forget
Who's
about
gonna
Albert
sign
Pujols'
OBJ? That's what
700.
he cares about.
Yeah.
Go NFL.
Yeah.
baby,
Who's
go
gonna sign
football.
OBJ?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's best time to be a sports fan. NFL season's midway through. We have October baseball started today, which is
Yeah, right.
everyone go watch baseball. I know this is a football channel, but go watch baseball. Keep
Yeah,
the sport
watch
going. And NBA season started. Thank you guys for watching Steer the Line. We'll be back again next week at Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, all the way to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you guys for catching us. I'm Christian Giordani, and this is
Rocky Giordani.
we're Steer the Line.
Yeah. And don't forget to join us on radio the first half hour if you